New York, January 2017. In this scene, you see a man being escorted off an airplane by DIE agents. He looks to the left, then to the right, completely confused. He asks, "Where am I?" They answer, "You're in New York." At that moment, you see the face of the most powerful drug lord in history. Tears glisten in his eyes. This is Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, the man who escaped from Mexico's most secure prisons twice. The man who built an empire larger than Pablo Escobar's. But how did he end up here? That's what you're about to find out. El Chapo, the short one in Spanish, was not just another criminal. He was the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, the most dangerous and powerful drug organization in the world. Bigger than Escobar's Medellin cartel, more powerful than anything the world had ever seen. His cartel smuggled drugs worth billions of dollars into the United States every year. His organization was so powerful, it controlled entire regions of Mexico. He commanded a private army of tens of thousands of armed men. Think about that. A man with more power than some governments. Mexican authorities hunted him for years. In 1993, he was captured for the first time and sent to Puente Grande prison. This prison was built for Mexico's most dangerous criminals. The guard-to-inmate ratio was 2-to-1. Insane, right? But once you know who was locked inside, it makes sense. These men had private armies on the outside. But putting El Chapo in prison didn't mean he lost his power. Not at all. With bribes worth millions, he bought almost everyone. Guards, officials, even the deputy head of security, a man named Damaso Lopez. Damaso received a house, a car, monthly payments, and became El Chapo's closest ally inside the prison. Remember that name. It will be important later. El Chapo lived like a king behind bars. Anything he wanted was delivered to him. Visitors were allowed to stay with him for days. Most importantly, he had phones and communication tools to keep running his empire from the inside. During his imprisonment, El Chapo even revolutionized an old smuggling method: underground tunnels. He hired engineers and architects to build professional tunnels. Not simple holes, but advanced underground routes leading directly into the United States. These tunnels increased his smuggling capacity dramatically, up to $20 million per month. His empire kept growing while he was still in prison. But then, in 2001, everything changed. Mexico's Supreme Court proposed a new law allowing criminals to be extradited to the United States. El Chapo knew that if he was sent to the US, it was over. American prisons were far more secure and far from his influence. So he began planning his first escape. The plan was simple, but brilliant. His ally Damaso ensured that the number of guards in his section was reduced. A laundry worker named Chito was bribed. Chito opened El Chapo's cell, helped him into a laundry cart, and covered him with dirty clothes. As the cart was pushed toward the exit, it nearly rolled backward due to his weight. Chito rushed back and stopped it just in time. Outside, a car was waiting. The driver? A bribed prison guard. They passed through the gates without inspection. By the time the escape was discovered, it was already too late. El Chapo drove through Mexico City, surrounded by a convoy of police cars, like a president. That escape turned him into a legend. Many believed he was untouchable. He remained free for 14 years. During that time, his cartel became the largest in the world. Violence in northern Mexico exploded. In 2014, authorities changed tactics. Instead of hunting El Chapo directly, they targeted the people around him. It worked. They turned one of his IT specialists, a young Colombian in his 20s. With his help, they hacked the cartel's encrypted network. On February 22, 2014, special forces surrounded a house. El Chapo escaped again, through a tunnel beneath the bathroom. But 5 days later, they tracked him to a hotel in Mazatlan. This time, he had no protection. He was arrested easily. He was sent to Altiplano, Mexico's most secure prison. No one had ever escaped from there. El Chapo immediately began planning another escape, a tunnel dug from the outside. A 1.5-kilometer engineering masterpiece with ventilation, lighting, and rail tracks. On July 11, 2015, El Chapo escaped again. It was a national humiliation for the Mexican government. On January 8, 2016, he was located again. He fled through a tunnel once more, but this time, honest police officers stopped him. El Chapo was arrested for the third time. On January 19, 2017, he was extradited to the United States. In 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. Today, El Chapo is held at ADX Florence Supermax in Colorado, the most secure prison in America. The man who escaped twice now sits alone in a cell, cut off from power, from influence, from the world. This is the end of the story. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you in the next one.